Hello, AP World students. This is another Miss Rhodes special. I wanted to bring you guys some understanding on the AP World curriculum, some stuff that works for all of the time periods we're studying, some stuff that's important for how we test, and it helps you know what's most important to review. So we're going to look at the time periods. We're going to look at three of the major reasoning skills, the AP regional maps, and the six AP themes. All right, so first is the time periods. Unit 1 and 2 are together, the global tapestry and the networks of exchange. The global tapestry is kind of some background information that really gets us up to 1450. The networks of exchange is the Silk Roads, Indian Ocean, trade networks. 3 and 4 are together, 1450 to 1750. That's exploration up until industrialization. And then Unit 5 and 6 are 1750 to 1900, which is the Industrial Revolution and all of the major Atlantic revolutions from French Revolution, Haitian, American revolutions, up until right before the World Wars. That Unit 7 and 8 are the World Wars, Cold War, and the effects of that. And then Unit 9 is globalization, like our global interconnectedness in the world today. You'll see on this image that it also shows the exam weight, which means how much of the test will focus on those subjects. So we are mashing together units 1 and 2. We will mash together unit 3 and 4, 5 and 6. You guys see where I'm going with this. Because we're going to cover some things chronologically, and so sometimes the themes just kind of get mashed up. So right now, today is September 4th, and we are covering units 1 and 2 together of the global tapestry. You can see our review and our topics for that. If this is much past September, then you're just watching this to get the themes and stuff, but so we're covering that now. All right, so three of the major important skills that they want you to know for AP examination in world history is comparison, causation, and continuity and change. So I would always help students by talking about a simple example. So comparison is comparing you versus your best friend or you versus your parents. Okay, comparison, similarities and differences among those two groups or those two people. Okay, continuity and change, I know I skipped causation, I'll go back. Continuity and change is the same thing over a period of time. So you at age 5 versus you at age 15. Okay, so things that stayed the same throughout your entire life and things that changed. And then causation is why something happens. There's not always a right or wrong answer. It's things that cause one event or another. A lot of times these are going to be debatable issues. All of them, comparison, causation, and continuity and change over time, are going to be arguable points. And that's what AP is all about. That's what the exam is all about. That's what the essays are going to be all about, is making an argument for these skills. So read through these, look at what you're looking for. Similarities and differences in how things develop and why they develop. Comparing to religions, comparing to nations, comparing to leaders. Okay, causation, cause and effect. Okay, why did a historical event happen? Why did a process take place? What are the short and long term effects of a event? Continuity and change over time. How is a culture the same and how has it changed over time? A religion, how is it the same as its foundations versus how it's changed over time? Development in gender relations, in society, social structures, etc. Okay, so you always want to be looking for that. All right, so the next thing I wanted to look at are the AP World History regions because they will use these in their questions. And if you are not paying attention or if you don't know what they mean, then you can miss the question just based on that. So a lot of times they will group the Americas together. So notice it's not just North and South America, it's the Americas. Okay, because especially in ancient history, nobody knew about these. So we say like they just did not know the Americas existed. The Americas, both of the Americas. Then Europe, Asia, Africa, and Oceania, which is the region of Australia, and New Zealand together. Okay. John Green jokes in many of his videos that Europe and Asia are actually connected because they are. Also, one thing people don't realize a lot is that the Middle East is technically on Asia. So it's West Asia, which is a problem with some people. Okay, so West Asia means the Middle East. I know that's confusing. Okay. All right, and then we have another map that goes into the smaller regions. Okay, this is where we get North America versus South America, but we also get the term Latin America. Okay, we get that Latin America because everybody south of the United States speaks a Latin-based language. You guys probably know Spanish, but a lot of people are going to be thrown off because this spot right here, Brazil, speaks Portuguese. Okay, both of which are Latin-based languages. So we get Latin America, we get the term Latin, like Latino or Latina, from that as well. This region is sometimes also called Mesoamerica, and this region is the Caribbean, the islands, Cuba, Jamaica, and all the little islands. All right, then we get East Asia, which is going to include China, Korea, and Japan. And we have Southeast Asia, which is going to be Indonesia, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, all of that. And then South Asia is India, Pakistanish, and then all of the stands are going to be right here. Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, all of that is going to be in Central Asia. The Middle East is going to be everything from Egypt through Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, all of those together up here to Turkey, okay, the Middle East. And then, of course, Europe, and then over here would be Russia, right? Russia just owns all of this. All right, and then in Africa, one of the things that we've talked about in class, but my VIP kids are going to be hearing for the first time, is how massive Africa really is. If you stretch this map out to be a globe instead of flat, you would see how big Africa really is. John Green makes a comment about that in one of his videos as well. The United States, India, and China would all fit inside of Africa. It's very large. So they have different experiences. They have every type of climate zone possible, from rainforest to desert, except for cold. They don't have any cold regions, but they have pretty much every other kind of climate zone. All right, so Northern Africa, okay, very much affected by Europe and the Middle East. West Africa, also going to be affected by those guys due to trade, right? Trans-Saharan trade. And then, of course, Atlantic trade when that begins, right? All right, and then we have Central Africa, which is pretty easy because central, center, right? South Africa, which is where the nation of South Africa now exists. And East Africa, which is going to include Madagascar, although the ethnic group there is generally closer to Asian, but that's a story for another day. East Africa here, though, with the Swahili coast and Ethiopia, they're going to have a very different experience than what's going on in West Africa or North Africa, so make sure that you're watching that. All right, so then we have our themes. There are 6 themes, and you can take any multiple choice or short answer or essay question from AP, and you can put it into a theme. Okay, so theme number 1 is humans and the environment. Okay, and this is anything from the beginning of farming, our attempts to control water, more extensive farming, the predicting and using of monsoon winds, or industrial pollution, anything that how our environment affects us, and then how we in turn affect the environment. Okay, so theme 1 is humans and the environment. Theme 2 is cultural developments. Okay, cultural developments. So it says the development of ideas, beliefs, and religions illustrates how groups in society view themselves, and the interactions of societies and their beliefs often have political, social, and cultural implications. Okay, but on this theme, we're looking for cultural. So I also have the definition from National Geographic down here. For culture. Culture is the shared characteristics of a group of people which encompass place of birth, religion, language, cuisine, social behaviors, art, literature, and music. Okay, so I have a whole display of some religious symbols here. The Rosetta Stone for language, food, shaking hands versus bowing, music, and art. All of these are part of culture. Notice that race isn't necessarily involved here. Is it sometimes involved? Of course it is. But that's not necessarily a defining factor for culture. Okay, so these are just shared characteristics. You do want to be careful because cultural and social a lot of times will intermingle. So if the AP question asks for cultural, you want to be really careful with which characteristics you choose. All right, theme number 3 is governance. We also sometimes call this political. So, a variety of internal and external factors contribute to state formation, how we create a government, expansion and decline. Governments maintain order through a variety of administrative institutions, policies, procedures, and governments obtain, retain, and exercise power in different ways for different purposes. Okay, so I have lots of examples from the Chinese examination system, courts of justice, monarchy, democracy, and a constitutional governments. And I have some forms of government here. Politics is how people become in charge, how they stay in charge, and how they organize their people and their nation. Okay, so governance or politics, political. Okay, usually the question is going to say something about political if it's looking for a governance answer. Theme number 4 is economic systems. As societies develop, they affect and are affected by the ways they produce, exchange, and consume goods and services. Okay, so producing, are they an agricultural or industrial economy? Are they using barter systems, stuff for stuff? Are they trading plants for tools? Are they trading animals for baskets, right? Stuff for stuff. The Greeks invent the coins. China invents paper money. Okay, electronic transfers now. Living on credit. All of that stuff is economic based. Okay, how we get our goods, how we make our goods, how we trade our goods. Number 5 is social interactions and organization, the process by which societies group their members and the norms that govern the interactions between these groups and between individuals influence political, economic, cultural institutions. All right, so check it out. We have everything from slavery, serfdom, the caste system, today's social craziness, and feudal system in Europe or Japan, how we organize ourselves, how we group people, upper, middle, lower middle class, the ruling class, the elite. All of these terms are things used for different social classes. We've had all different kinds of systems throughout history. So social interaction, how we organize ourselves, how we interact with each other. All of those things are social. Also, the reason or the way people are organized, like the caste system is organized by birth, serfdom is arranged by birth. Slavery in most cases throughout history has actually not been by birth. It has been by capture during war or something like that, or not being able to pay a debt, things like that. But later on it will be hereditary. It depends on the time period. Or is your social status based on your skill, like in warrior class or an educated elite intellectual class, or is it about money? Is it about land ownership? Anything like that? Like, how is the social system organized? How does one retain a higher social status? All right, and then last is theme 6, which is technology innovation. Anything that humans do to make their lives easier. So human adaptation and innovations have resulted in increased efficiency, comfort, and security, and the technological advances have shaped human development and interactions with both intended and unintended consequences. Okay, so we have everything from stone tools, a crossbow, early plows, the camel saddle, okay, to vaccinations, to aqueducts, to space travel, to railroads, to cars, airplanes, all of that technology, what we use to make our lives easier, how we adapt to our environment and to each other and to everything else to make things better or to have more of what we want. Okay, technology. Sometimes writing systems are included in technology. or procedures or knowledge can be considered a technology, but the easiest examples are the things you can see and hold. So we have some pictures here. So I hope that helped clear up some of the things that kind of confuse people about AP World History, like in a general sense. Also, in the questions, you're going to take your first test soon, or maybe you're reviewing this late in December for your exam, or maybe you're reviewing this in May for the AP exam. So I hope this will help clear up how the questions are asked and what they're looking for when they ask a question on the AP World History class. So I hope that helped, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.